Hey, 74 Deeds, welcome. Natalie Peters, welcome. Just got home from my son's basketball game, and hey, VMC. Chris Helms. Just figured I'd open some halves since it's kind of late and a lot of people wouldn't be here. I didn't want to open it for anybody in particular, so I figured I would just open some halves and chat. So I'm getting all that stuff ready, but figured I'd at least open it up and start getting it. So I'm getting my dump bag and everything ready, and we'll do any, of course, the normal giveaways and any likes, that sort of thing. Let me grab this. Grab the halves. Already got a lot of guesses in here. So I wasn't going to stream Gatita, but I'm awake and I'm just figured might as well just stream and open some halves for fun. Let's see what we got. I saw some come in. We got Sprite 039 for VMC. Chris Helms 0 and 39. Let me make sure I get those down. Uh, 74D says Fresca Peach in 38. And I'm doing halves, so that might change your mind on some of those years. So they're not nickels tonight. Gatitas is Pepsi 0 and 46. Natalie, New Marshall, Fresca Peach 67. New Marshall, I did get that one in. So I got that one in. But yeah, if you guys want to change your years, you are very welcome to, since we're doing halves. I mean, it would be great to pull 39s and 38s, but you never know. He's changing it to 65. Going for the silver. And there's still those ones up there, but I'll give you a hint. It's going to be somewhere in that section. Okay, I will do. I think on the UFO one, it's a little more because it's like a 3D shape. So I think it's 30 on those ones. My regular 5-ounces that I'm getting will be 25. Gatita says change mine to 72. So, in case if you guys want to buy 2025 Denver halves, I've got 5 boxes. And I noticed on eBay, I'll show you this. I did a screenshot just so I could remember to look at it. Those two were best offers. So I'm guessing somewhere around $1,400. That one was $1,500. But that's 2025 Denvers that are selling for that. And I picked up 5 boxes of them. Coin Cody, we are doing halves tonight. Just doing halves for myself since didn't really plan on any stream or anything. I think I got someone changed. Gatita's 72. Yep, got that. Hey, Bellows, Pepsi Zero 68. So for those that are interested, I will sell them, but I'll cut you a deal because eBay's going to take 13% of it. Let's see, Coin Cody says 67. Chris Helms and 74Ds, did you want to change yours? 54. Okay, 74D says 54. That's going to be a good Benji if we do. And maybe Chris is going for that 39 still. There's more people than I honestly thought would end up showing up at this late. Natalie P's number for what? The oldest coin in the box. So you guess which drink you think I have out of these ones. There is a couple more, but I'm giving you a hint, and it's not one of those 3. But you guess which drink I have and what the oldest year of the box is, and you get your name on the wheel for giveaways. KJ says starting in 65. But yeah, I picked up and I thought they were all going to be brand new 2024s like I've had a bunch of. And the 2 of them had the end kind of popped open. And I pulled the one out just to see. And it was a 2025 Denver. And I looked at the other ones and they're all, I believe, 2025 Denvers. So I'm figuring I might as well list them on eBay and maybe do a, buy 2 and get like 5% off or something like that. But hey, Lyle, welcome. Pepsi Zero 68. So I figured even if I get $1,200 or $1,300 for a box, still making out on that. So I was not expecting it. Watching you and football. Well, welcome, William. Glad to multitask there. Anybody else want to get some years and drinks in? We'll get started on that. I did go through all my rounds and kind of get them organized. So now I've got this extra box and this extra box of all the different ones. Some of them, many of them are duplicates. But, whoa. What am I supposed to guess? Larry, you're guessing what drink you think I am having tonight, and also what you think the oldest half of the box is going to be. I guess there could be a nickel or something in one of the rolls. That would count too, but when we do this, I put up a list of my drinks I have in the fridge. I've already got one out. And so you guess what drink you think I have and what the oldest year of the box. And if you are correct on either of them, you get your name on the wheel for one of the giveaways. One of my copper rounds that I have many of. You picked the exact same drinking year as me. I was going to say, we've had a few guess the same year and stuff. So I got drinks and years for VMC, KJ, Chris Helms, Coin Cody, New Marshall, Gatita, 74 Deeds, Bellows, And Lyle Okamoto. Did I miss anybody? Larry says Mountain Dew 071. Alrighty. It was 51 degrees when I came home after my son's game. They were up at one point by 7, and they ended up losing by 6. Dr. Pepper 37 says William. Oh, 37. I thought you put 67. It would be nice to get a 37, but they are halves, so just to be aware, they're not nickels tonight. They are half dollars. So if you want to change your year, you are welcome to. Otis says Fresca Peach in 38. I'll put that in for now unless you change your mind. So we've got 38 and a 39 and a 50 or 37. So William, Chris Helms, and Otis. If you want to go higher, you're welcome to do that. Otis says 57. Okay. I mean, it'd be great to find like 38s and 39s and stuff, but being their halves, they're probably not. I have found a Walker in a box and Benji's in a box, and I've never found a Barber half, but hey, you know. I thought you'd do nickels for 60, so 67 for halves. Yeah, usually it's nickels. But like I said, I kind of a late night, didn't plan on anybody, having a box or anything. Chris Helms, 66. All right. So I just figured I've got to get some of these back in the bank because I have $2,500 in 2025 Denvers. So I'm going to list those on eBay unless someone wants to buy a box. I'll send them to you for a discount. But the last 3 boxes have sold between $1,400 to $1,500 because they're NIFCs for 2025, and there's like 8 million minted, whereas 24s I think had 30 of each million minted. So I'm going to throw that down and go with the drinks and everything. I think we've got everybody pretty much changed that wanted to. Let me know when you receive the payment. Yes. I think you were sending that one, if I remember right. And once I get it, I will let you know. So I do my usual Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, but you are also welcome to do money orders, checks, or cash at your own risk. Okay, so if in the future someone wants one and doesn't want to or doesn't have one of those, I'm pretty flexible. I believe we had 2 that had the correct drinks. It is Sprite Zero, and that was VMC and Chris Helms, I believe. I spent the last 2 nights going through all my rounds and putting them in flips and stuff like that. I'm just going to take one of these off to the side for now just because it's a little bit tall. I've got a bunch of a peachy kind of night. Not tonight. 74, I was pulling out a bunch of those. I was going to send you a pic of the ones I've got pulled out so far. I got the Indian head. Got the Ben Franklin. It's not the usual back, but it's got that on it. This Indian. This one, the Merc Dime. The Morgan with a different little bit different back. 1909 SVDB. Regular penny with the new shield on the back. We the People's Second Amendment with that one. And I also had a Second Amendment with that one. And then I also had the Don't Tread on Me. There was this one here. The other one was the colorized one. And then I also had this Don't Tread on Me with just a eagle on the back. And then I didn't have the $100 bill one, but I did have an old $10 bill one, Buffalo bill. The bars are two different ones, but they're not the 100. So you are on the wheel. I went to that stupid channel last night. POS told me I was a child because he didn't want to chat talking about anything other than knives. Well, that was mature. So I've got a bunch of those picked out. I know you said you'd probably look at getting a few more here in when I do your next box. So I think you had 15 extra that you had sent towards rounds, and that was, if I remember right. And so that would be good for 6 of them. Let's see if we have any enders. I haven't had ender forever. Not seeing anything jumping out. I see a bunch of good old ones, so that's always good. I will check for 60 or the 73 and 74 DDOs and that sort of thing. Buffering? I hope not. I guess I'm showing them perfect on my end, but that doesn't mean anything, I guess. So I do have my scope up, so I'll just stack a few and then we'll look at some of those. Yes, certainly. I think I sent the pic of the latest ones I had put up. If I haven't, let me know. NIFC 2018. I do average about 18 NIFCs per box, including 2018s. Thank you, 74. I'm working on my website, getting that set up and getting some stuff put on. So hopefully that'll be up and running here probably in a little while, but I'm working on it anyway. Figure I'll just list some of that stuff on there, and there's a 2025 Denver, but I'm not keeping it. The boxes I have are straight from the bank. So if you know of anybody that might want one, have them send me an email. So like I said, if the last eBay sold listings are correct, I can definitely look at selling some of those for that price. And I was wondering why it was like much for those, because I'd looked, and in October they were only selling for like 700, and then November they had a couple that went up to like 900, 1200, and then in December they've gone up to 14, 1500. Willing to part with rolls of uncircs? Yeah. Definitely am. And if you do it through me, you don't have to worry about eBay fees and all that kind of stuff, so I can cut a discount on that. I've got, like I said, 5 boxes. I've got many that I will probably list, like I said, unless people want to buy them. If they want to buy them direct from me, then that's the best, because then, like I said, I don't have to pay 13% eBay fees. I just pay the regular processing. Another 2018 NIFC. Just the regular processing of card or whatever. It's usually about, can't remember the exact, about 3% or so, which is much better than 13%. Last year I had 26 straight boxes of 2024s. I had looked at seeing me 24 boxes would sell for, and they weren't, you know, really much. They're like 700 or something, and after fees and shipping and everything like that, it would have left me with like 25 bucks or something. I was like, that's just not worth the hassle. Yeah, it's the only I can figure is because they're NIFCs. For 2025, there's only, I think, 8 million minted of each, compared to like the 30 that they did for the 21s through 4s. So that's the only thing I can figure. Yeah, my jaw kind of dropped when I had looked, and I was like, no way. And so I started going back a little further, and they've just been going up and up. Like I said, they were 700 in October, and then 900 to 1200 in November, and then 14 to 1500 they're selling for. And yes, that's selling. The one, it had 2 of them had the best price, which you don't know the exact amount, but yeah, that is sold. You can see those dates: December 6th, 2nd, and 1st. The 14, the top 2 were best offer, so I'm guessing somewhere around 1400, and the bottom one was 1500. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, my jaw kind of dropped, and I'm like, okay. So 2 of the boxes did get the end popped open. They were in the bank from when they sat them down. They accidentally kind of ripped the end open. So if you want to buy single rolls or anything, then I'll just use one of those boxes. Another 2018 NIFC. Yeah, my rent is less than one of those boxes. I pay $1,000 in rent. Luckily, I've got people that, you know, I've been here 6 years. You know, I don't have a problem. The only thing I've ever called them about was the furnace when it went out a few years ago, right before Christmas. And other than that, you know, I never cause problems, and I'm always paid on time and that sort of thing. So they did raise it $100 this year. It was $900 for the last 5 years, and I was surprised they hadn't raised it, but they did finally raise it this year to $1,000. So it's one of those that if you find a good renter, sometimes it's easier to keep them instead of trying to jack the price and get new people in and all that. You know, you get a good one that doesn't cause problems and pays on time and that sort of thing. and then you could take a little bit of loss from market, but you have less headaches. (2014) Nifty. Right now it's missed because I was able to also get 4 boxes of nickels, so now I've got 7. Picked up another box of quarters, so I've got 3. Box of dimes. 5 boxes of brand new halves. Mine only includes the rent. They pay the HOA out of that. I don't have to pay it, luckily. I hate HOAs, but unfortunately that's what it is. And the HOA is, I think, $187 a month for the stupid apartment condos is what they technically are. But let's go over to the scope, and instead of getting tons of them and look for the 74 DDOs. I do find them sometimes. I haven't found many lately. I also look for the 73. Easiest way for me is to see the I and the B. Got 77s. That was beat up anyway. Yeah, and it's funny because the HOA, it's the same people, but the HOA for the houses, like right behind it, built by the same people, is less than the apartments. My internet runs me $60 a month for 60 flat, no taxes or anything. And that's for 1 gig. And then my utilities are about, depending on what it is. In summer, my electric, the highest I get is about 100, but during the winter, it's about 30. And then my propane for my furnace and hot water heater, they just replaced all of them with a different company, finally. And that company is always been cheaper. And I also look for the 82 and the 72 no FGs. I can usually see them just by looking at the back, and if I can't see them, that's when I scope them. But I had one box where I found a 72 no FG and 2 82 no FGs in one box, which was kind of crazy. So I kind of need to go through everything and see what I have and what I should send in and get graded and that sort of thing. Because I know some it's worth getting graded, some of them it's just not worth it at all. Because if it comes back even close to anything that you don't want, you know, like if you need a 63, it's going to come back maybe 62, then, you know, you're taking your chances and might be spending more than the coin is worth. The only time I would do that is if I wanted to get it slabbed for, if it was kind of a rare one that could be faked or something like that, and get it kind of verified. That's always a good reason to slab it too, even if it's like, you know, NGC or Annex or any of those. At least if it gets slabbed, they'll have a better chance of at least crossing over or selling it. Yeah, I hate the HOAs. And some places they're fine, you know, they don't cause problems. And then you get some places that are a Karen about everything. When I first moved in, my kids left one of their scooters by the front door behind a pillar. So it wasn't even like just laying out on the sidewalk or anything. And I got a thing from my landlord and said, they said you have your scooter out there. If you don't move it, they will fine you. And I'm like, what? That's why I live in the sticks. Yeah. Y'all are children. If you can't talk about coins, don't say anything. I act like a child sometimes. Sometimes I act like a dad child. Today we were talking in a meeting about one of the slogans they were working on was, you know, we're trying to up your game on the front of the shirt, and then on the back they were going to put up yours. And everybody kind of started laughing, and he was like, I'm not putting that on my shirts to wear. You know, because if you're walking away from someone and it says up yours, I don't think they're going to treat the hospital with much respect. Like, oh yeah, we didn't think about that. That's kind of a cool toned one. Doesn't pick up on camera, but it's interesting. Yeah. And here we can talk about anything. And again, my kids will probably call here very shortly. But if we do, I'll just put it on mute like usual. Nothing good so far. I was flipping over to look at mint marks. Sometimes the back you can't tell, but the front you do. Hey, at 2013 NIFC, we're up to 5. I have a I used to go there for Hot Wheels, was the only place in the country. Yeah. I remember KB Toys, Toys R Us, a bunch of those. Of course, now a lot of the places that we used to go to are actually out of business. Like there was one called Aladdin's Castle. I actually came across a token in one of my hunts that was an Aladdin's Castle. And so out of curiosity, I looked it up, and the last one closed like in 2018 or something. And no more. KB was cool, yeah. I don't know if we had a Toys R Us in the hospital, the mall. I know we had KB Toys, but I think Toys R Us, I'm not sure if we had one in town or not, but yeah, I never really got much into the Hot Wheels. I mean, we played with Hot Wheels in 2018 NIFC. And I think that one NIFC I said was 2013. Yeah, I think that one I need for an upgrade on one of the sets I'm working on. I started putting together another set so that down the road, if I decide to do auctions, maybe that could be one of them. I had someone comment in one of my shorts from a long back. I found a bag of halves from the bank, and there was a walker in it, and a bunch of tokens and all that kind of stuff. And the guy wrote, fake. So I replied back and said, I don't fake any of my videos, whether it's good or bad. I put in another 2018, another 2018. Yes, they are nifsies. I said I leave anything if it's a different denomination, if it's another 2018, anything like that. I said, so none of it is faked, none of it is anything. I said, this is a small rural bank that I got it from. And so then he replied back and put MB, which I'm assuming is my bad. I'm not totally versed in a lot of that lingo, but I think that's what MB is good for. And if someone thinks it's fake and they want to call me out on it, okay, just explain why. Don't just say fake. All right, second row is done, so let's look at some of these. Yeah, hey Isaiah. Yeah, like if you open an entire box and everyone had an ender or something, it's like, you know, you've been saving those up and putting them into one box. It's like that just doesn't happen. You know, things like that, it's like, come on. But having a bag from a bank that had 12 tokens, a bunch of foreigns, medals, I think one of them was a fishing medal or something. It was like, how does that crap get through? Because I used to work at a bank and we used one of those type of coin counters. So how did it get through all that crap? Because it would always spit it out for us. Although the cool thing is I went into my credit union, and because they have that machine that they use for coin dumping, and if it gets spit out, I guess it throws them off count or something, and they can't put it in their drawer because then their drawer would be off. So it always spits out any silver and foreign. Well, I found out that they throw the foreigns away, so they've been saving those for me. We're already at 11 nifsies. So when I went in there, they handed me a Mercdine and said it wouldn't go through the machine. Do you want it? I said, hell yeah. Like, it's an old one too. And I'm like, yeah. I also picked up a pack of BEP $2 bills, brand new, consecutive. I figured the worst I can do is either deposit them or spend them. But I figured if maybe list those. They don't go for too much more on eBay, but even if someone wanted, you know, some, I've got the whole pack. Like I said, I'm not keeping the 2025s out, even though they're technically nifsies right now. Just because to me they're too new and I've got 5 boxes sitting there. So again, if you or anybody want to buy any, I'll sell some loose rolls too. Get them direct from me and it'll save eBay fees. $2018. I know some people don't count 2018s as nifsies, but they are considered nifsies. Oh, yeah, oh, crap. Sorry. Thank you, guys. You've just been sitting there looking at a stupid microscope. I could have had something really cool, which I didn't. Like I said, for me, I just flip the 72s and 82s over because I can see the FG on the back, and that only time I scope it is if I don't. Just because for me, I can see them so easy. Another 18 NAFC. So we're up to 13 now. And what's crazy is, like Rob and stuff, they'll hunt halves and find 1 or 2 or maybe 5 in a box. And like I said, my average is, oh, what do you think? You want to throw yours in? This one right here. I'm thinking it's a 40. But we'll let you guess. I don't know how well it will work. There we go. I was way down on silver, and then I had a bunch of bellows, and Larry, you might want to change because it is a silver. So it'll be 64 to 70. 64 would be a 90%, which it did not look like to me. And a 70 is very rare to come across, at least in my opinion. So my guess would say 65 to 9. I don't think I've ever found a 70 silver. Got a few guesses. Anybody else want to get a guess in, and we'll flip it and see who's correct. Hey, Jolly Roger, welcome. It's kind of a another 2018 nifty. We're at 14 Nifsies now. I like being the odd man. Hey, I mean, you never know. $68. Nah, 40% silver. So let me get that on the board, and then we'll look at who was the winners. Whoops. Let's try that. Still got a stupid thing in there. I cannot type tonight. There we go. Someone's saying New Marshall. New Marshall. Okay. I guess New Marshall was the winner. Congratulations. So let's do another kind of different thing since it's halves. Like I said, my average is 18 Nifsies a box. So put in how many Nifsies you think this box will have. And as you can see, we are 27 rolls in, and I'm at 14. Yes. Yeah, I didn't start until like 8 o'clock or something. I wasn't planning on streaming, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to sleep quick, so we're going to add Nifsies to the guess of the wheel. New Marshall says 13. Well, you might want to check that because I've already got 14 on the board, New Marshall. Hey, Maple Leaf. I know you're on here. I'll write it in. So Maple Leaf says 22. VMC says 25. Otis says 21. And again, my average is 18 a box. So 70, and we're just over halfway with 14. So that gives you an idea of where we're running at. 74 Deeds says 60 or 26. My highest box was, I think, 85 or something like that. Otis had 21. Jolly Roger, welcome. I think I said that, but you have 24. KJ has 27. Larry Downing, you're only going with 17. I only need 3 more out of the entire box to hit that. Chris Helms, 2018, yes, I do put those in the Nifsies because they are considered Nifsy. I have not included the 25, so it's only 2002 to 2020 and any 87s. Chris Helms says 24. Marshall says 23. William E, 25. 50 to 26. You can change yours if you'd like, Bellows. Katita says 26 final. Yeah, 2018 is a NIFSI year. 2005, I'm not considering NIFSIs right yet because I've got 5 complete boxes of 2025D. Bella Forge says 28 final. So, and like I said, those 2025Ds, these are the last 3 sold on eBay. The top 2 were best offer, so I'm guessing about 1,400. And the bottom was at 1,500, and that was December 1st, 2nd, and 6th. So, Queen Cody says 20. And Bellows says 28 final, which I think I got. Yep. So you're saying I should go up to 20? Well, you never know. Like I said, my average is 18, and right now I'm just over half the box, and I'm already at 14. So I've had times where I've hit 15 in the first half, and then I find 3 in the second half type thing. All right, so I think we've got pretty much everybody. So I had years from, or NIFSIs from VMC, KJ, Chris Helms, Queen Cody, Larry Downing, William E., Maple Leaf, Jolly Roger, Gatita, Otis, 74 Deeds, and Bellows. Did I miss anybody? I should have done it at the beginning, but hey, Riley, if you still want in, you're welcome to. We're guessing how many NIFSIs are in the box overall. Give me a second to mute it for a moment. All right, I'm back. That was my kid saying goodnight. I just find it's easier to mute it instead of trying to step out or something like that. But yeah, it's just basically I talk to my kids every night, and most of the time they call anyway. Once in a while, if they get back late from somewhere, they don't. But thank you for those that are, saying muted, just like when I was on my scope. Easiest thing is good data word to you. I try. Easiest thing to do to get my attention is tag me, because then it pops up and it kind of gives me more of an alert. You would have dropped the coins trying to do both. I can actually drink pop at the same time. And yes, I call it pop. Not soda, not sody pop, not Coke. I'll get on another stream. I've just been busy. Yeah. Hey, Scott. Just did a kind of a late night pop-up stream. I wasn't planning to, but I got home it was just after 8. I think it was about 8:15 when I got home, so I started just a box hunt for myself, some halves. Got to get them back in the bank. Not too many to search this time. Like I said, I've got 5 boxes of 2025 Denvers. So if you know of anybody who's wanting some, they are going for a pretty penny. On eBay, they are going between $1,400 and $1,500 this last month. October, they were 7. November, they were 9 to 12. And then December has gone up to $1,400 to $1,500. So I figure even if I get part of it, I can put them on eBay and get even $1,300. But like I said, if you know or if you want any, I will sell them because I'm not having to pay eBay fees. And that's 2002 NIFC. 13.25%. And that's on, I think, the total plus the taxes and shipping. 2018 NIFC. 6 boxes. Yeah, all of mine have been 2024s when I've been getting them. But this week, when they handed me 4 at the one bank, they were 2 of the ends had been popped open when they had put them down, and my credit union had 1, and so I was like, when I was looking at them, I was just figuring I'd be ripping them and putting them back in. And I'm like, wait a minute, these are 2025. So when I first started getting 24s, I'd gone on eBay and just checked to see what they were selling. They were, selling for like $700, and it was like, after you pay the eBay fees and shipping, it's really not making any money. It's not worth the 10 or 20 bucks that would do it. So when I looked at these ones, and the last 3 sold items have been between $1,400 and $1,500, and that's in the last week, I'm thinking, yeah, I think I better sell these. So individual rolls are going between 25 and 30 bucks. Thank you, Jolly. So I figure, being in the community, sometimes people say, I'd love to buy a roll or, you know, something like that. And you can always send them my way. Because like I said, I won't have to pay eBay fees. I can give them a little better discount. And I figured if I did put them on eBay, I'd probably do like, you know, 2020 Nifty. Probably like, you know, do the one, and then if you do two, get like a 5% discount with free shipping. And even then, I'd still be coming out like $600 a box. But yeah, I thought that was like crazy. Hey BH, welcome. Just a late night pop-up that we're doing some halves. This is the first box, and I guess I should update the counter. So that'd be nice if I had my website up and running. I could throw them on there, and I don't have that up and running yet. Starting to get that built, but it takes more time than just a few minutes, you know. So besides those 5 boxes of 2025 Denvers, which are Nifties, they have a mintage of about 8 million. I also picked up a BEP wrap of $2 bills. So if anybody's looking for those, I'll sell them for a good price. Not looking for anything outrageous, just more of... I know a lot of people want to get those and can't. I got in and asked for any 1976 twos. They pulled out, all of them were 2017s, and they pulled out that pack, and I was like, oh, do you want to sell that? They're like, well, we're not holding it for anybody, so sure. I figured, what's the worst I can do? Take it to another bank and deposit it? Spend them at a store? 2018 Nifty. See, I'm already at 18 and I've still got 13 rolls left. Marker magnet sold out. Awesome. I will be on call, so most likely I won't get to do too much watching. They have they have put an ad for someone to work just Saturday and Sunday from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. because we're there so much when we get called in. Of course, we're at time and a half when that happens. So they were looking at it and they figured It's actually cheaper to hire someone part-time to cover the busiest part of those 2 days. So 2020 NIFC. The best find so far. So once they do that, maybe that'll finally kick them into gear to put me into assistant for my bosses. It just sounds weird. I think it's just damage, but we are at, oh, I forgot to put that one on. Thank you. It's now updated with that last one. And then what I'll do is I'll go through and I'll look and, ooh. I'm not going to go through and go, ooh. It is not American. Let's see if it has a year. It does have a year. It is from Ecuador. I thought the edge looked a little too silvery to be silver. 2017 NIFC, number 20. Hey, slightly rotten carving, welcome. Get your last few guesses in. It is República de Ecuador, something Alfaro. And I'll show you under the scope because it took me a little bit to kind of see it. It is Año 2000. So who's going on the Wheel of Names? 88, 98. Ooh, very close. 98. I'm thinking KJ. And that looks confirmed with BH and VMC also. All right. So there's that one. Now we'll go through this row. I have had fill the boards a few times myself with one box. For me, a true fill the board is doing it in one box, not like I'm doing a 3-box hunt and I fill the board. But a true fill the board to me is one box and one box only. Although you can say I filled the board in my hunt, can't say I filled the board with one box. Yeah, some of those foreign ones, it's kind of like a hit and miss. Excuse me. I can't remember which side the 72s are easier to see on. I've started getting my website set up. I did have a offer of it's 2025 Year of the Snake. It's like rainbow colored and it looks kind of like a snake. It's a 10-ounce round. I can show a picture of it. If anybody's interested in ordering it, like I said, I can do that, but that's probably going to be at least 30 or else 35, depending on what I can get it for. So I didn't buy it just because I wasn't sure what people would like. Yeah, I love foreigns. And see, I have my box finds. I'll throw it on this screen to kind of show you. And this is the one that you can download and kind of make your own. But I have it like Buffalo V, War, Foreign, 30s, 40s, 50s, 909, 24 miscellaneous. If I find what a foreign is or whatever, I put it here. Like if it's key dates. My halves, as you can see, my NIFCs are 17.6. I average 0.6 silvers. The last few boxes have been pretty good, but I haven't updated it since October, so those totals aren't in there. But that is what I have, and then I have the totals for all the years, and I also do that with, those are just my personal hunts. And then I also do it with the hunts that have been purchased. Another NIFC 2017. So that's just one I made up that calculates everything for me and that sort of thing. Yep. I've never averaged 1 silver per box. My highest, I think, was 0.75, but even since I've started, my average is, I think, at 0.7. Oh, let me see if I've subscribed. Slightly Right in Carving, you have just gotten a subscriber from me. There you go. I believe in helping everybody out, posting links, and a lot of people will sub. And on mine, if you're a public, like it lets you do public or private, if you have it on public, it shows who you are when you sub. And so if it is, I try to go back and sub to everybody who has subbed to me. Otherwise, I don't know, and I wouldn't be able to do it. So you can always put a comment and say, I subbed, sub back. What's funny is the last stream I did last Thursday, I got 15 subscribers off that stream, which was outrageously crazy. Usually I might get 1 or 2 or something like that, but I got 15 on just that one night. I'm like, that is weird. Let me see if anybody needs points. I'm sure some of you are kind of newer. Nope. Sometimes it makes you be in here for a little bit of time, chatting and stuff, before it lets you play games. You can always do exclamation points. And then, hey, Chris Holmes got 3 of kind. $2018 Nifty. So I know people have helped grow my channel, and watching me right now is helping me the best way. So then I can get to the memberships and super chats and things. I've had a few do just direct, like, donation type things. And yo, B Waller, just figured I'd throw some halves in because I wasn't expecting to stream an 08 Nifty. Any finds? We had a 2000 Ecuador, 50 cent. But the best is a 40%, 68. And so far I'm up to 23 Nifties in this box. Ooh, our goal's getting 25. And then I have that second box I'll do. I like to do two box hunts at a time. And we'll re-guess how many Nifties we get in that box and oldest coin of that box. Maybe I can hit you up for some Nifties. Well, do you consider 2025 Nifties? Because supposedly they are. And I've got 5 complete boxes of those, and they are selling crazy on eBay. These are the last 3 sold comps, December 1st, 2nd, and 5th. The one on 2nd and 5th had best offer, so I'm guessing around 1,400. The one on the 1st was 1,500. So I'm figuring I'll list them on eBay, and if I can get anywhere near that. 2 boxes, the ends got popped open, so I'm thinking maybe sell some single rolls out of those, because those are going for 25, 30 bucks. But like I said, if it's one of my subscribers or someone that like one of my subscribers says, hey, I know a guy, and gives me their info or whatever, I would obviously be a little less than eBay price, because I don't have to pay 13% eBay fees. But yeah, if you're looking for any certain Nifsies, I have one set that I'm working on, trying to either upgrade. I think it's got a few left to fill. I think that 13 I found tonight is. Hey, Sophie Mendez, welcome. But yeah, I can sell them to you, and I'll just cost. How about that? Put a little package together, and then. So how uncommon is it for Nifsies to get released into circulation? How much about face value can you get, or can you expect to get if you sell them? I'm new. It kind of depends, because I've been getting tons of 2024s, even last year, and 2020, another 2018 Nifsi. 2024s really aren't selling for much. You might find them a high one at 700 on eBay, but like I said, they take 13.25% eBay fees, so it eats away all your profit. So, like 2023s aren't Nifsies, but they do say 2025s are, from my researching, 2025s are considered NIFC, which is not intended for circulation, and there's only about 8 million minted. Yeah, I would love to just say, have someone say, hey, I'll buy them for whatever, or, like I said, if anybody knows anybody. Obviously, I want to make some, but so that box had 140, 24 Nifsies, and a foreign. So I get bicentennials a ton. I probably just had 50 of them in that. 68. We had Kyle Locomoto, or Lyle Okamoto at 68. Bellows at, oh, sorry, 68. I'm doing two things at once. So the oldest of the box is Lyle Okamoto and Bellows. And then the Nifsies, 24. Chris Helms had it exact. William E. was off by 1. few of them off by one. Jolly Roger had 24. And then I do get a lot of 18s, but they are considered nifsies. So I always just kind of like to see how many are 2018s. Because it's one of those 2018s are kind of like very, very common, whereas those other ones aren't. So non-2018s, 8. But yeah, B Waller, if you want any nifsies, let me know. Because if I don't need them, like I said, I have some that I'm kind of trying to upgrade. But oh, and I forgot these. So if you're looking for certain ones or anything, including 2018s, I average 18 nifsies a box. I only average like 0.6 silvers a box, but I do get a ton more nifsies. So it's, to me, amazing when channels have nifsies that are like, they find 2 nifsies, 4 nifsies. It's like, why are you guys getting all the silver and I'm not getting all the, and I get all the nifsies? All right. So box 2, same stamp and everything. If you want to oldest of the box and the number of nifsies. Got them coming in. BH is, gotta find where you're at, 65 and 25. New Marshall 6723. VMC 6624. Otis says 6821. Maple Leaf 6722. B Waller 6020. William E 6622. Chris Helm 6626. BH says 68. Is that what you want to change your year to instead of 65? Um, 74 deeds, I'm not sure what 196 would mean. You mean a year 196 or 196 Nifties? Jolly Roger 6819. KJ 6727. Scott says 98. Not sure what 98 would mean. 98 Nifties or a 1998? Because I'm guaranteed that won't be happening. Or an 1898. Larry Downing 68 and 20. Queen Cody 6725. 74 is 6326. I like the 63 thinking. Yeah, 5 boxes to hunt this week. 5 boxes of halves. I've got 5 boxes of brand new 2025 Denvers. All right. Think I've got everybody. But I won't be streaming any of this week because I'm on call. But I do have nickels. But I think I'm sold out all the way up through the beginning of January. So I won't stream on Christmas or the 1st. But I've got hunts set for next Monday, Thursday, the Monday, and the Monday. But you can always get a name on the list. Nothing super jumping out at me. But I did pick up 4 boxes of halves. So I've got those hunts covered plus a couple extra. See, there's Bicentennial. Oh, 25 likes. I think I saw that at one point, and then let me get Coin Collector Grady some points. You now have points, Coin Grady, you. Giveaways, 25 likes. That is good to know. I was not expecting that. Exclamation GAW. If you haven't been here before, that's all you type in. It will say thanks for entering. Make sure you email if you win. If your name goes on the wheel, you do not have to be present to win, but you do still have to claim your prize. So these ones are live ones, so if you win and you don't email me within a week, same thing. If you put it in and then disappeared, right as it Drew, which would be kind of weird if you did that. You can still email me though. I think everybody, I've got their rounds out, except for the ones that are holding them for hunts, such as New Marshall, 74 Deeds, Gatita. So when I went to the bank and asked for any 1976 twos, they only had one. And I got an entire BEP wrap of 2017 $2 bills. So if anybody's looking for a unopened wrap from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, which 2020 NIFC, hit me up. Hey, Smoker, welcome. So I always want to, if I do get stuff like that, give you guys an opportunity. So if you are looking for that sort of thing, that way I can sell them to you guys. And like I said, selling them straight direct is a lot cheaper than eBay. Which means I can cut out a lot of the fees. Erase setting the counter. Oh, let's do... Let me open it back up, Silverman, just a moment. Whoa, that's huge. I want it kind of in between those, but oh well, that works. There. All right, let's go over and now my things are all out of whack. There we go. Going to close entries, make sure Chris Helms gets in. Yep, you did. Anybody else? Give you about 10 seconds. 10, 5, 4, 3, 1, 0. That one actually counted down all the way to 0, which is actually very strange. Because almost always it ends with time left. Smoker. $25 likes. And got a few of my copper rounds in. I know this one's, get back to the thing here. That one's already sold. Got a little bit of a 3D shape to it. But I do have another one. And then so far I've gotten in that one I showed before, but I'm willing to sell that. Loch Ness Monster, it's a little bit of a 3D type look. It's colored. Those are usually, most of them are 25. And then this one is the Kraken. The eyes glow green, so they're glow in the dark. And it's 5 ounce. So most of my 5 ounce rounds, like I said, will be 25. There's a few that'll be 30. But yeah. I do have a 5 ounce of a bunch of others coming. I'm not seeing it, but it's one that has like, I'd have to kind of go through them. Actually, let me see if Kazoo. I think number 32, I've got a 5 ounce one of that one coming. So yeah, hey AG, welcome. Thank you. Do you have a list or anything of like prices and which ones you have? Because it's one of those I could always split some with you. I only buy them if they're a good deal, because a lot of times people want like 25 plus 10 shipping and stuff like that. $30 plus shipping. But I'm always looking at 2018 Nifty. Passing on savings if I can get good deals on stuff. Good night, AG. $5 ounce minimum is 100. Yeah, that's the only thing is having 100 of them is 100 of the same thing is just extremely hard. Because then that's like the only thing you have. Plus, I'm sure they're more than like, you know, probably 15 or 20 bucks at cost. I don't know about 100, but I know on 1 ounce rounds you can get like 100 of them, and you can get them for about $1.50 each. 2018 Nifty. Hey, JJ's. That's not too bad. 10 bucks each. Like I said, you have to get 100 of them. If you get like 10, that might be doable. But yeah, I don't buy them for too high, because like I said, I like to try to pass them on savings and stuff onto you. But those are the three I've got right now. That Kraken, that one's kind of cool. Loch Ness Monster, and then that spaceship one. I've seen these go for quite a bit more. But luckily I'm able to find them every once in a while for about $5 more than the regular ones. That's an ugly Nifty. I thought about maybe doing that, like for, you know, the 1 ounce rounds, maybe 5. Do something like that. You have to buy 100, but then, you know, be able to sell them on eBay. But even then, you're still paying eBay fees, and that's why I need to get my website up and running. I've kind of started getting it going, working on all that. Nifties are 2002 to 2020, and supposedly 2025 are Nifties as well, which is why I've got 5 boxes of them. I'm going to probably sell on eBay, because those are just outrageous. These are the last 3 sales for 2025 Denver's. The top 2 had best offers, so probably about $1,400. And that bottom one was $1,500. So even if I sell them for a little less, you know, still make decent money, because then if someone buys them direct from me instead of eBay, I don't have to pay 13.25% eBay fees. Nifties for this 10 rounds are 5. And that's the problem. It's 13.25%, and that's on I think the full price of the sale, the taxes, and shipping. Which to me is bullcrap, but maybe I read it wrong. I know a few of you have sent some emails. I've heard those, but I haven't checked them. I'll probably check them after the stream or else tomorrow. And I will get back or with you on that. (2018) Nifty. And like I said, supposedly the 2025s are considered nifty, but that's just from everything that I've seen. (18) Nifty. Right now I'm not keeping them out and counting them as nifties in my hunts. If you guys need 2005s, let me know, because I can pull them out of any rolls I find. Probably found 20 worth in the last box. Yeah, I thought all those boxes were going to be 2024s again. I was like, went to crack one open and I noticed it said 2025. I was like, wait a minute. And 2023s aren't worth really selling on eBay because you're not going to get that much. And then, like I said, all the fees. So I just figured, yeah, I'll check it. Yes, exclamation me will post your channel link. Helps find other members. That's 2018 Nifty. Easy way for subs to get on each other's channels. So I got a lot of my subs to start with. VMC, Jolly Roger. And some people may not really post much like live or recap content stuff, but they do post stuff every now and then. And it's one of those that sometimes you have to, like, I think you have to get 50 before you can live stream or something. So it just helps people out if they need it. Yeah, I never really posted, and then I decided to finally start doing recap videos, and that was just about 2 years ago. It was the end of 23, like December 28th or something, when I did my first recap video. And I never expected it to really go further much than that. And then I had done a few shorts that in the summer just kind of went crazy. Between the three of them, the one had like 20,000. But between all three of them, there was like 50 or 60,000 views. And my subs went from 700 to 3,700 in a month. That was about the same time Pa had his go from like 20,000 to 100,000. And so I'd always told myself if I got to 1,000, I would start looking at buying a computer to stream. So when I hit that, I didn't really have an excuse anymore to not do it. 2018 Nifty. So then I started looking. I found, oh, we got a foreign. It was already face up. 2014. It is a Centenario del Canal de Panama Carlos V. Medio Balboa. I have found numerous commemorative Balboas. I probably find more commemorative Balboas than regular Balboas. But yeah, that one was already face up, so it's kind of a giveaway. Otherwise, I would have let you guess. But yeah, I'm working on my website. On there, I'll post any of like my extra rounds, any extra currency, any of my merch. 2018 Nifty Ender. I have my stickers, but I've now ordered a few magnets. It's basically kind of a Black Friday sale that I was like, yeah, I'll do that. You're getting foreigns I wouldn't expect. I get Balboas quite probably the most common of foreigns. So we now have a total of 10 NIFCs. Well, it's funny because I normally, on my Balboas, I find commemoratives, like I said, very frequently. I probably find more commemorative than regular. In one of my rolls, I found a toonie, a $2 Canadian. I've also found a cremation tag that they put with the body. I found one of those. I have heard of people finding it. It's true. So you never know what's going to happen because, like I said, I was not expecting to get that many subs that quick. And so I happened to find this computer that I use. It was on sale, and looking at the specs, I was like, okay, that should handle it. Because all I had was a laptop from when I did my MBA. And it was great to write papers and stuff. I finished my MBA 10 years ago. No, 11 years ago. 10 or 11, I can't remember. But I'd used it for years before that. So I've probably had that since 2013. So yeah, it was one of those, it would not handle live streaming. It had 4 gigs of RAM. It was like a 1.7 processor. It was just, there was no way it would handle it. And this one hasn't had any problems handling it, running multiple things at once, and it's doing good. I think it's a, I know it's a i9 12th gen processor, and I know the 14 gens are the ones that give problems. So I made sure I didn't get the 14th gen processor, 2011 NIFC. i7, yeah, I was looking at some i7s, but then I've came with 18 NIFC. Came across this as an i9 12th gen. It had 1 terabyte SSD hard drive, a processor. I can't remember the regular processor, but it maxes out at like, if it's full load and everything. And I'm not a computer guy, so I don't know the exact terms, but the processing maxes out at like 5.2 gigs or something. Or gigahertz. I've had to buy a couple adapters so I could hook up more than just a couple things to it, peripherals. You know, cameras, microscope, that sort of thing, but those are cheap. A 17 NIFC. It is a mini computer, so it's not the one with big tower. But this one I found also has a cooler in it. Most of them on the minis, you don't find ones with cooler fans and everything for the heat sinks. And this one had a cooler, so that was a plus. And I had a few people that do tech stuff look at it, and they said, no, that's a very good computer, and if you're getting it for that price, you are getting a steal. And I ended up getting it for, I think it was $480 or $520 or something like that. So the computer, I bought a 2-pack monitor. If you adapters like I have one, you can plug 10 USB cables into the one thing, because this doesn't have 10 ports on the back, that sort of stuff. And I bought a thermal printer for my labels, and all of it came to, I think it was like not even $700. So if you do research and you hunt and hunt and hunt, you can find good deals if you're patient. Which, like I said, is what I did. The only thing I sacrificed was basically the extra like USB slots and stuff, but like I said, I bought the one where you can plug, I got one where you can plug 10 USBs or USB-Cs into it, just to make sure I had enough for everything. Yeah, I mean, you can do a lot of it on the phone stuff too, but ooh. I'm pretty sure. Well, let me do this first. See this big fat edge right there? It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but it's thicker and it's more copper looking. I'm betting it's a proof. And it is. So, guess what year proof I have? Got a 24, an 81, 96, 83, and 84. The foreign was a Balboa. 98, 79. Not buffering on my end. We'll drop frames. But the one night it was said it was just fine, and then it actually finally crashed out. Yeah, I don't show any drop frames. Excellent health. So, not sure. Yeah, I was talking about the Balboas, and how I was saying I find more commemorative Balboas than regular Balboas. Alright, let's see what everybody guesses here. And I can usually tell them by the edge that they're foreign. Sometimes they're not. You know, there's some of the newer ones like 2024, but almost always I can tell from the edge. This one, we'll flip it. Looks like anything after 74D that said hi Garrett will be not in. Say 2000 out of San Francisco. So there you go. I sometimes flip them, sometimes don't. VMC was on it. Alright, that makes my job easy. I was going to say, did anybody get it? I find proofs not like super often, but I find them enough to go, oh, gotcha, okay. So let's see who won it then. Go back up to here. So 2000, we were off by 4. We were off by 2, which was KJ, Maple Leaf, and VMC. Yeah, 98's got it. Got a few people in here. Lost in Finding You, JJ Currency, Silver Chupacabra, Metal Detecting Canada. I'm going to add some points to you. So that you can gamble and stuff. Makes you be in the stream, I think, 5 minutes, and in chat before it lets you do it. So there you go. You guys now have 10 million points. And for those that are new here, what we do is when we're searching, at the beginning of the night, I put up a list of all the drinks I have in my fridge that are cold, and I let people guess what they think is my drink of the night. So I put that up, and then people get to guess what they think. They also get to guess what they think the oldest coin of the box is. And on these, we're also guessing how many Nipsies are in the box. So each one of those, whoever's the closest gets it right, gets their name on a wheel. The wheel of names, throughout the night, I spin it, and if I spin and it lands on you, you win one of my giveaways. And all you have to do is email me within a week and say my name is, you know, whatever, you know, Lost in Finding You, or Lost in Finding WH, and you would say, and, you know, my name is Bob Jones, and I want item number X, because what I do is I have a bunch of them on here, a bunch of these rounds. And what you do is you email me and I just send you a copy of this. Plus I have many more that aren't on there. And you can just say, you know, I want number 22, for example. And I send it to you. Yep, screen name, real name that you want it addressed to, and mailing address. I have sent them to Canada without any problem. Maple Leaf has one. BH Ringer has one. And we're at the end of row 3, so let's update some numbers. We added 3 more proofs, or 3 more NIFCs, sorry. And I already threw that proof on there. So for example, that Garrett put Mountain Dew 6414 for tonight. If it was at the beginning of the night before we started, he would, that would be his guess. And like for example, tonight we had 2 people choose my drink correctly. I received my copper round. Thanks. You are very welcome. You already got it? I would send it out Monday, I think. Unless it was a different one. Might have been a different one. I think the one I sent out Monday was one that I had one addressed to you or something. And I was like, at least I'm pretty sure it was you. I was like, why do I have one addressed to him, but there's no round or anything? So I was thinking maybe it was because I was waiting on some of my rounds, and I did get a Maple Leaf in, so there is a couple that I think, the other one, not the Walker. Okay. Yeah, I think the Walker was the one that you had said was the one that I sent out on Monday. On these, we're just looking for DDOs and stuff. Oh, very nice, Garrett. Like I said, I do have many, many, many more. If there is anything in like particular you're looking for example, I thought I had one, but I guess I never actually bought it. It was a unicorn because I was going to give it to my daughter, but I never actually ended up getting it, I guess. So I thought the unicorn would be fun. I did actually get a couple trumps. I have one that is a chicken trump. It's like a chicken in Trump's head or something. I don't know. I've got one where he's got his ears shot off, and I've got one with his portrait mugshot, and another one that has just him in a baseball cap. So, and I'm one of those, I get whatever, most of the time I get 2003 NIFC. Kind of random assortments. So sometimes I get multiples of stuff that it's like, I wouldn't have chosen those, but okay. And some people like Trump, some don't. So I figure if it's one of those where you get to choose one, emailing me is the easiest way. Then that way, if you don't want everybody to know, Like there's Second Amendment ones, you know, some people get a little freaked out with, you know, guns and stuff. There's a couple that have pot leaves. Those, you know, some people may not agree with it. To me, it's just shiny copper metal. I myself don't smoke it. I did in high school. But if you get them in bulk, do you get good price on the copper rounds or still full price? Usually you get them a little cheaper. Like if you're buying them one or whatever at a time, they'll usually be about $3 a round, plus shipping. Me, I find them so that if they're under $3, so usually around $1 or $2 to $2.25 is where I like to be on those. So the majority of those I've gotten are between $2 and $2.50. Because I'll buy them. It'll be like, oops. For example, 40 rounds, and it's a mixed assortment. Some of them are 40 rounds, and you're going to get 10 of this, 10 of this, and 10 of this, and 10 of that, or whatever. So sometimes I take my chances, and I get crap that I would never have chosen. But like I said, some of it I thought I would take forever to get rid of. I actually got rid of pretty quick. Yeah, sometimes it's like, that is the stupidest thing. Like I had a chance to get 5-ounce bars that had like a turkey and he was pouring gravy on himself. And I'm like, that is just one of the stupidest, dumbest things I have ever seen. I am not buying 5 of those. Yeah, because you have to eat the shipping when sending them back out. Yep. That's why, if I can get them for that, like I said, if I sell one, I could do 1 round for $4. Because my average price is about $2.50. Some are a little more, some are a little less, but the average is about $2.50. The colored ones are usually about $3 for the colorized ones. And then I can send 1 copper round in the mail for $1.56 or something. So basically $4 if you want 1 round. If you're like, hey, I want to buy, you know, 5 rounds or whatever, that would go to a regular shipping price. And usually it's about $5 to $6. I think we get to do another guess. Guys, do you see what I see? Almost an ender. It looks quite silvery. Yes, I'm seeing it. I do have a couple Zombucks. I had a couple aliens, but I gave those out. I tried to get more in, but I ended up getting more of ones that I didn't want. So it is a silver. Obviously, you can tell it's going to be between 64 and 70. I think I might have had a 70 found for me once. But not found it myself, like, you know, when Pa would hunt it or something. But I think that's happened once. I haven't found a magic coin forever. What's funny is it took me 5 years to find my first magic coin. And I was like, sweet, I found one. And within the next month, I had found 2 more. And so they kind of come in spurts, but I found probably at least 6 or 7 of them. I'll unwrap this roll and then we'll flip it. Hopefully it gives you enough time because there's only a couple of years you can guess. But yeah, that was pretty nice. It was a 1 from the ender. $74 Deeds just got in, and it is a 68 again. That one, so we got another 40%, which I'll always take silver. And then let's see who gets the winning number. Let's see, 68. I got Otis. I've got Larry Downing. Garrett. Otis, Garrett, and Larry, I believe, are the 3 that I see. That's almost 11. Wow. Yeah, so like I said, I've never found one myself, but I have had one found for me. I kind of like this one. This is the best year ever for being a Dad Hunts coin. It's a 79. It's got a little bit of toning. I'll hold it out to the side. That's just kind of cool. I like it. Sometimes I pull them out and then later on I'll be like, why did I keep that? Even got Larry cheering today. $2018 Nipsey. It wasn't second from the end. Don't know if you can hear it, hopefully. Yeah, sometimes a toner just like jumps out at me and it makes it kind of like go, keep me, keep me, keep me. So I'll keep them, and then other times I'll be going through a bunch of my toners and I'll be like, why did I keep that? That doesn't even look good. It looks stupid. It looks like nothing. So at least this will up my average slightly. While you're doing that, I got the end of row 40, so let's update totals. We now have a total of 15 NIFCs. No more proofs or anything. Everybody gets a last guess in. It's got a little bit of a goldenish hue. And if you saw what I just did, it's a 40%, and it is another 1968. So 2 68ers in a row. 3 for the night. 68, we got VMC, Garrett, William, E. Good going, guys. It's one of those I want to keep. Opening more boxes. It's getting kind of late. Yeah, I was going to say it's almost 11 here. And I know on the East Coast, I've got quite a few people, like up in, I think I see an FG, but we'll just double check it. Yeah, you can barely see it on that. On some Nipsies on Coach's channel. Well, like I say, I get a ton of Nipsies. A lot of them are 2018s, but I'll keep out any that I don't need to upgrade or complete a set. And I can list 2017 Nipsey. Because there are a few that I need to complete, like one set, and a bunch that need upgrades. I was going to say, but like for example, B Waller said that he wanted to get some Nipsies. So I'll get with him and see what he needs, like wants to get to maybe get out, or I don't look for a set, I don't know. No, that is not silver. It's kind of a greenish brown. But if you guys are looking for particular things, like for example the other night, Gatita was looking for 1976 $2 bills. I actually happened to have a couple sitting out, so I sold those. If someone's looking for a particular silver or just anything such as 1968 is the oldest. All three silvers have been 68. And I forgot to search those scopes at the end of 40, so we'll have enough to do all of them on this round. But yeah, anything in particular you're looking for. If I have extra or I don't need it, also, like I said, I'm thinking about maybe doing a couple small auctions, just some small stuff. But I don't know what I'd really auction off. Because a lot of the stuff I have extras of are like barber halves. $2018 Nipsey. I think part of my thing is I don't feel big enough to do like big auctions. If I did, it would have to be small ones because I'm still growing my live streams. Now up to almost 1,700 hours, so over halfway to what I need just to get to memberships. Which I know a lot of you have asked about. Sent email and that sort of thing. $2018 Nipsey. And then it's kind of like, what do I do? Do I do a 99 center? Because it's really low and cheap to get into. Or do I start at $1.99? Oh, man. If you can't tell, I love these. Got one right there, got one right there, and got one right there. So we'll do 3 different guessers. Just making sure they are silver. All right. At first I was like, oh, we got a silver, and then it was like, oh, we got more than one silver. So I'm going to pull them out as the order that I pulled them out of. There's the first one. Yeah, you know when it's get kind of good when I'm sitting there not even talking, just kind of going. I had a box hunt that I was doing. The second box, or the first box, I didn't get anything until roll 49, and then roll 50. And then the second box I was doing, it was 2 silver Sammies of a 90 and a 40. So sometimes I kind of hit in weird streaks. It's a 90%. What is that? 55 plus dollars. I don't think it's that high. It's 0.36 ounces, which would be, I don't know what silver melted at today, but I think it's like $21. All right, guess one. Let's finish guess one up, and then we'll do guess two. Awesome. So that's guess one. Guess two is the second one I pulled out. The first one was a 67. So I'll go back through while you guys are guessing and check dates. Got KJ, BH, Maple Leaf, Chris Helms, ruins your box guess. You had what was it, 68, I'm guessing? Let's see. Yep, 68. It happens. And then we'll finish this one up. So get your last guesses in, and then we'll throw the third one I pulled out. It also was a 67. The third one I pulled out. Get your guesses in for that. Let's see, 67, you got Chris Helms, Maple Leaf, KJ. I think, yeah. So we got see, 68, 68, 67, 68, 67, 68, 68, 68, 68, 68, 67, 66. All right, let's finish those up. Thank you, BMC. And this one is not a 67. It's a 68. So on that, I had Silverman, New Marshall, VMC, 74 Deeds, Larry Downing, KJ, Coin Cody, and Otis. Anybody get missed? I don't think. So just a few. We'll do those. And this one, we had a total of 18 Nifsies, 5 40s. If we would have had a 90%, we would have filled the board. With a proof, miscellaneous, which is foreign, Nifsy, 40, and a 90. Now let's go to the scope. Most of the time the DDO is going to be the miscellaneous, but you guys see what I see? That, if you're not familiar, right here at the bottom of the 4, let me get maybe a little bit better. Right there, there's a notching. Up here on the U, there's notching up at the tops. You can kind of see it on here, but an S, you got a line down the middle, you got a notching on the R, notching on the T, notching on the T, and notching on that T. That, my friends, is a 74 double die obverse. So I do flip those up so they just don't get lost. Oops. That was a nickel, not a quarter. Or a half, I mean. I grabbed a quarter, not the half. So now let's try it again. And for now, I'll just leave this one up here just so you guys can kind of see it. All right. These, the last time I knew, they were running, what are they worth? About 20 bucks now? And I'm also going to flip up that proof. All right, now back to the rest of the story. So on the 74s, the easiest way to find them is look at that 4. And if you see that notch, kind of like a W or an M, this is just a down and up. It's like a V. So if you see that double notching, that is how you find a double die obverse. 73s, the easiest way I think is find the B and the I. If it is, you'll have extra chunky metal. Was that the last roll? Yes. Guess I have my get nifty guess this time. Hey, John Jacobs. So notching on the 4, yes. Notching on the 4 is exactly how you would see. Usually when you have a double die, like on the truss and stuff, you'll see it. Sometimes on the Liberties or like In God We Trust, sometimes you'll see some doubling on some of those. But on the 74, the easiest way is look at that notch on the 4. That one's a little bit beat up, so it's not the clearest, but that is how you find them. And it's funny because I haven't found one for a while. 64 has the DDO and DDR, yeah. There are other DDOs and stuff. In this one we had this one we have 13 2018s and 5 of others. So that second box had 15 Nifsies. Oh, let me get off the scope. So second box had the 15 Nifsies. I put, no, 18, that's right, 18. A foreign, well, we got to update this with a 74D DDO, a proof, and a foreign, and biggest of the night, five silvers. Hey, Pod, welcome. So I just finished box 2. You can see my finds. The first box I had 140, 24 Nifsies, and foreign. Box 2, I had 18 Nifsies, 1 foreign, a proof, 5 40s, and a 74D DDO. I only needed that 90% to hit that full box, or fill the board. I have 2 more boxes. I'm tempted to run them, do them, but I don't know. Not sure what I do. We had 2 67s and 3 68s. And a 4th 68. So I think 40% of melt value is, what, $8 or something? Must have forgot the halves. My bank forgot to order this week. This was actually a pickup from November. I'll check with B. Waller, see what he needs for Nifsies. And that was the other foreign. $9.38. So $10. So $60 in silver, a proof, a DDO, a couple foreigns, and a ton of Nifsies. So can't complain. Like I said, I'm tempted to do some more boxes, but I don't know. Maybe we'll do another 2 boxes and compare the 2 boxes together. That one roll, it was one of the, I think it was roll 49, 48, 49, had 3 in one roll. And that happens a lot with me. Like roll 48, 49, I'll hit silver, and like 50, you know, I might hit silver, and sometimes the whole box is crap until I get to roll 48, and then it's like, well, now I need the other box that would have gone with it, so. Oh, thank you, I forgot. So that one we had 18 Nifty and a 67. So 67s, we've got KJ, Queen Cody, Maple Leaf, New Marshall, and for Nifsies, 18. Anybody? There was a 20, a 19, a 20. I'm looking at Jolly Roger with 19 being the closest. We have 22 people watching still. That's weird. Usually it has the... Oh, there it is. 36 likes. Well, we could do a semi-end of stream and then maybe do the other 2 boxes if you guys want. Kind of restart everything. So it looks like we got some more coming in and still got 22 people watching. So maybe what we'll do is we'll end part 1, which is box 1 and 2. And we'll do FT Thunder Wigan Rob. Gonna add some points to you. So let's do the first, like, kind of end of stream giveaway, and then we'll do a second end of stream giveaway when I get the other 2 boxes done. Maybe that's what I'll do. So an EOS going on for the first 2 boxes. While we're doing that, I need to and hopefully I'll catch everybody, because we'll clear the wheel after that. So type in wheel and I'll throw your names on as I see them. If you want your extra name on the wheel. KJ. Good. No, I do multiple fingers. So it looks like, if I remember right, I had KJ, Garrett, Queen Cody, New Marshall, 74, Deeds, VMC, Silverman, Lisa Anderson, JJ, Smoker, Michael Rose, Larry Downing, BH, and Otis. Did I miss anybody? So what is everyone's opinion? Contrary to popular belief, I do think there is a ceiling on the silver run. Where does it flatten out? I was going to kind of say the same as Garrett in 70, 75 area, I'm thinking. I'm in the 80s to hit 120 to be comparable with inflation added in. I'd say 70. Yeah, and that's basically what I'm thinking is like 70, 75. But I thought I'm going to resume entries for just a second here in case if there was anybody that didn't get in. You're welcome to if you haven't. And these are just a bunch of the rounds, not all of them, but a bunch of them. Let's close the entries. End of stream 1-ish, and we'll see if we go from here. Otis. Shuffle this a bunch of times. We got 51 names on the wheel. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle a bunch, and then just randomly click. Oh, barely. Michael Rose. There was 51 names. And it looked like Michael had one name on there. Kind of crazy, but that happens. Let's see what we're still at. 25 people. Okay. And I've got two, if you're still looking at the same kind, Michael. I've got two that I can show you. I'm going to get rid of some of these. I say go to sleep. Thank you so much for the great time, DHC. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those, I took my sleeping pills, can't sleep. I won my first one, name out of 57. They're still fighting for those spots to win. Yeah. I was going to say, let's show if I can find it here. Yeah, Smoker, Otis, Michael Rose. I'm in the same boat. I should be dead asleep, but I can't. See, I've put them all now, at least in my kind of boxes. Thank you, John Jacobs. So, Smoker, I know you liked that other one I got. I do have this one. It says, enjoy, celebrate, relax, 420. And then this one, and I can maybe put under the scope and see. Got all kinds of different names. Sticky Icky, Stinkweed, Marijuana, Good Giggles, Bag of Bones, Baby Ganja, etc. So all of those, with both of them have the same on the side. So if you want one of those, let me know. I do have, like I said, a bunch that are not in there. If you want me to kind of go through some, you're welcome to. I've also got all of those. Like I said, you can email me. This number 28, there's actually two different kinds. There's that one that has the copper with that on that. And the other has a copper with the buffalo with the same back. So I've got those two. Take the first one you shown. That one there. I assume that's the one you would have wanted, but is Smoker in here? And Otis. I think Otis went to bed. Yes, please and thank you. Okay, gotcha. So I've got plenty of many of them, like for example, Fear of the Jackalope. Trump Chicken. Some Pirate. I've got COVID Survivor 2020 Pandemic. I figure like New Marshall or BH might want one of those. It's a Canadian. I've got a Fugio. I got a Titanic. Save one of the Jackalope. I want to win. That's South Dakota unofficial. Yeah, and like I said, I grew up in Wyoming, so I've got all kinds of knowledge about that. I've got Jersey Devil. Got many of those. Abominable Snowman. Got a few of those. Got a Happy Halloween. Maybe I'll throw that in with new marshals. It's kind of a toned. I'll throw it off to the side for him. I've got a Kookaburra Zombux. These are when I got a print. X-Men's pretty good. Otis, $100 rectangle. So the rectangle ones I have are where'd the other ones go? Oh, I think they're in here. What number was that on the wheel or the thing? Number 28. So these are the two rectangles besides the thing. I've got they're both the same on the back. And then the front has the buffalo on the top. And that one has the Lady Liberty or whatever you want to call her. Bison. Okay. That's for Otis. And then or any cryptid. Do you mean crypto? If you want crypto, I've got an entire tube of Bitcoin. It's the only crypto ones I got. So I've got an entire tube of those, or I think, don't know if I still have it or not, but Jersey Devil. I have a colorized Bitcoin. Usually those are the ones that are a little bit more, but you can still get one. The Jersey Devil. It says cryptid creatures. So I can do that for you if you want. I got other ones like USS Constitution, Old Ironsides. These are a bunch that I got in that I've kind of put into holders. I've got America, One Nation Under God with USA. I've got Apollo 11 with the moon. Safety in Numbers, Men in Arms. Winchester 73 rifle. Air Force. A Vietnam veteran. a panda bear or something. Got an alligator, don't mess with me. And Year of the Dragon. So, other than that, they're all other ones are basically like Seated Liberty type things, pennies, buffaloes. I've got a whole bunch of trumps. I got a whole bunch of walkers, a whole bunch of Indian heads, a whole bunch of buffaloes, a whole bunch of Bitcoin. So all kinds of stuff. But looks like everybody kind of made their choice. So we've got Otis getting that one. Smoker getting Jersey Devil. Okay. Like I said, I have any of those for sale that if you want to buy extras, you're welcome to. Yeah, I've got half a tube of those walkers. I've got a full tube of that Bitcoin. I've got a full tube of Indian head scent. A whole tube of buffalo. I got a whole tube of Trump. Well, I've got one of these. And I've got a couple of these when he got his ear shot. And then some of those. So just for future reference, if you're looking at stuff. Not too bad of a night. I'll have to double check my things. I'm thinking we'll probably call it. So someone said BH said another no frills when one is available in January. Okay. I think in January we got one on the 5th, but the January 8th would be my first opening that I don't have anybody as of right now. So if you want that one, you're good. If it's a regular size package, it cost me 10. So if you would do 15 for no frills, that way it covers part of that postage and I'm covering part of the other half. If it's a bigger package, I'll just cover the rest of it over, but if you could help that 5, that would be great. Let's see if BH wants that. I do have these big ones, 5 ounces, like I said, are for sale. Loch Ness Monster, and I've also got a 1 ounce that can go with it. VMC, I have you down on January 5th. That's the first hunt of the new year. So let me January 8th, please. I'll send some extra for shipping. Okay. Yeah, like I said, I can do a package. It's like $11, and since most of mine usually cost about 8 or 5, like I said, it's just a little more expensive to get up there. But I do have a 1 ounce besides this 5, so it's kind of a set thing you can do. How much for the Kraken? 25 for the Kraken. Just so you're aware, it does have a crack on the case. But other than that, I don't see any problems with it. This one, I've got another one coming for New Marshall. And so I do have one more coming of those. 74 Deed says you'll take it? Okay. And some of these I get in, it just depends on what it is, but and then I know that you were looking at more rounds, so like I said, on some of these I'll take pictures and get them to you, because some of them are kind of two different kinds. Like there's two different tread on me's, don't tread on me's, different backs, two different Second Amendments, same back but different fronts. So I'll take pictures of those and let you decide which ones, that sort of stuff. And I know you had said 100 bar. Were you talking about the the bison or the lady? And then I've also got, like I said, that old school $10 buffalo one also. So I put that there off to the side also for you to look at. No need to rush and get paid or anything. 74, I still got you down for 1222. Yeah, the two bars I have are this one and the one that Otis took, which was the same back, but it's the buffalo on the front. So those are the two bars besides the police bank robber one. And then we paid for some of that stuff already, so we'll figure out what else we need. I know New Marshall was looking at that. Like I said, I do have another one coming of these, but because it's like a 3D, it doesn't pick it up on the camera, but it does have a raised up in the middle. And it's odd shaped, which is why it's more also, but that's 30. Most of them, like I said, are going to be 25. I might find a couple that might be little less, but it depends. I've also got some Halloween stuff coming. Sent you Cash App for it. Okay. Like I said, I haven't looked at any of my stuff yet, so. And I'm good with, like I said, trusting everybody. I know VMC. I've got those old American ones coming. I think he already paid me for that. 74 Deeds had the 22nd. New Marshall had the, I think it was 2 hunts. 18th and the 29th. because Monday we have Gatita on 15th. 18th, I think, is New Marshall. The 22nd, 74 Deeds. 29th is New Marshall. The 5th is VMC. And then I've got BH for the 8th. I've got stuff that I'm including with others, like bellows, including that with Gatitas. So, yeah. Thank you. Hopefully I can keep everything straight, but like I said, I am working on my website that it'll have a lot of this stuff I'll have put on there. And then maybe I'll just give you a redeem code and then you can get it on there and I'll send it or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. I'll look at all the emails and stuff, and we will see you guys on Monday at 5:30 for Gatita. Sorry, I'm kind of rubbing my eyes. Yes, thank you, Lisa. We got decent likes, 37. Still not quite up to that 50 level, but I'll take what I can get. Thank you, Otis. You guys have been wonderful. Christmas is in 2 weeks from today, or tonight, I should say. So hopefully you have all your Christmas stuff done. As it gets later, the shipping starts taking longer, so be aware of that. Stuff that I've ordered is finally arriving, and it's been almost 2 weeks. I'd ordered stuff on the 30th, and it's on its way, supposedly going to be delivered Saturday, which is crazy. But there you go. Excuse me. You guys are great. Like I said, if there's anything that you guys are ever wanting, for example, Gatita wanted $2 from 1976, or if you have special other ones, if you're looking for silver certificates, any of my regular stuff like the Buffaloes and V-Nickels and Indian Heads and BUs, stuff like that. Lots of barber halves, you name it. So, anyway, you guys are great. I'm going to let you go. Maybe that pill's finally kicking in after 2.5 hours. And you guys have a good night. Thanks for watching.